like and subscribe. What is your biggest non-academic, non-work related accomplishment? My old band got played on a local radio station a few times. When I was a kid, I saw a guy passed out drunk on the side of the road. Neither of my parents noticed, so I said something. We went back, and my dad went to check on him. It was around 20 degrees Fahrenheit out, and he was wearing a thin jacket and pajama pants. My dad, who is a paramedic, told me I quite possibly saved his life that night. Edit, worded weirdly. Not that exciting, but I'm still pretty proud, winning a blue ribbon at a state fair for my strawberry jam. My husband loves to brag about it, and it makes me feel pretty special when he does. Relearned how to walk after my brain injury. Saved a lady from drowning at the Outer Banks about 10 years ago. My stroke recovery. I can walk, use my left hand, and I can cook again. Things aren't perfect, but considering that I couldn't pick my head off of the pillow the day after last Christmas, I'm doing fantastic. One time when I was a kid, I was chasing my sister around the house with a wiffle ball bat, you know, like how kids do. She took off up the stairs to the second floor, and tried to lock herself in the bathroom at the top of the stairs. As she was slamming the door shut, I threw the wiffle ball bat like a javelin, and it blocked the door from closing. This happened 30 years ago, and it was literally the most athletic I have ever felt in my life, until I ran a mile non-stop as a 44-year-old guy. Taught myself to crochet. I am not terrible at it. An artist at a major animation studio saw my fan art, and shared it on their Tumblr. They commented on how funny they thought it was. That was years ago, but it felt great. I work for a major game company. You'd be surprised how much fan art is shared among people on the floor. If you think it's awesome to have your work recognized by well-established artists, it's equally awesome for us to see people so dedicated about our games that they use their precious free time to create art about it. Keep doing fan art. It can be a great motivational factor for many people, even if they rarely show it. I was sexually abused by a priest dozens of times during a 7-year stretch of my childhood. I blocked all the memories, drank away the memories, but when I was around 23, I had a conversation with someone which caused them to resurface. I spoke to a lawyer to see if there was anything I could do. The criminal statute of limitations, 2 years from the time the abuse ended, or 2 years from the victim's 18th birthday, was long gone, so I ended up filing a civil lawsuit. He was removed from the priesthood and we settled out of court. As it turns out, he did the same thing to more than 75 other little boys during an 18-year span. But because I spoke up and did something, the statute of limitations for sexual crimes against minors in the state of Illinois was eventually removed. I don't know if that counts or not, but I am pretty grateful that what I went through was not completely for nothing. I moved to a foreign country, where I knew only one person and did not speak the language, and managed to independently make it, and now I call it home. I recently squatted 495 pounds. Felt like my soul was leaving my body. I came across an overturned vehicle and some kids screaming driving from Oklahoma to California. Dead of night, winter, middle of nowhere. People were not stopping, but I did. My ex-wife did not want to stop, but I snapped at her. Turns out a girl had been thrown from a vehicle. Her legs were bent the wrong direction. Applied a makeshift tourniquet, and got some blankets from my U-Haul. The truck driver stopped and helped me. He called for paramedics and I helped them carry her over the snow/ice. In rough parts of the world it can be a common trick to pretend to have car troubles, to ambush and rob people. But an overturned vehicle with ice on the road seems like a no-brainer. I briefly became a published comic book author as a side hustle. My first issue sold out at a retailer level across the globe on day one. Super proud of that. Edit. Okay. Wow, this blew up. I just want to take a moment to thank every single person who took the time to express that they've heard of Dr. Crow, or better yet read it, or purchased a copy before. You have no idea how much that means to me on a personal level, but on a professional level I linked my publisher to this thread and they've now agreed to publish a collected edition of Dr. Crow. You read that u/Seth_literals_alt. It's coming. I can't thank you folks enough for helping make this reality. It was literally you guys discussing Dr. Crow that will make a collected edition a reality. Thank you. This has happened extremely fast, so I can't provide more info right now, but if you'd like to try to keep up to date on info regarding the collected edition of Dr. Crow, give me a follow over at Twitter, https://twitter.com/CoraFryer, and be sure to follow 215inc. https://twitter.com/215inc, and let them know you want more Doc Crow. Thank you so much for your support. You've made a bitter man extremely happy today. I volunteer for an animal rescue. Last year, I vaccinated just under 600 cats and kittens. My only qualification is that I also shot a lot of drugs into myself in the 1970s. I won the first Swedish nationals in indoor wingsuit flying. It's also so far the only nationals, since the only tunnel is in Sweden, which makes it even sweeter. To be fair, there wasn't a lot of competition, only one other team that were close to us, but I guess being part of the sport early on is part of the accomplishment, which makes it even sweeter. Managed to strike out the gym teacher during a softball match. Adopted my little sister, 16, when I was 21 after my father murdered my mother, helped her finish school, and kept a room over her head till she was old enough to move out on her own. In college we played for a crowd of like 15 people, and got paid $100. It's all been downhill since then. I work for a major game company. You'd be surprised how much fan art is shared among people on the floor. If you think it's awesome to have your work recognized by well-established artists, it's equally awesome for us to see people so dedicated about our games that they use their precious free time to create art about it. Keep doing fan art. It can be a great motivational factor for many people, even if they rarely show it.